Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam Zagar. I took a little bit of time off to rest my voice. I definitely had done enough teaching and recording when the eclipse happened recently. I lost my voice for a few days, and I'll be honest, it was a welcome rest. But we are back to it, so let's get into a reading. Let's get the chart up on the screen. I have so many splenic projectors, but we did not get feelings cognition today. We have a 6-3 Splenic Projector, quad left. Ooh, okay, so reverse profile for me, same variable configuration. 11:46 as a birth time. I'm going to trust that one to be quite accurate, so I'm going to move ahead assuming that they are actually quad left. What is in the intake form? Are you having a problem you need help with? So enough time passed for this person that they sent me an updated intake form because what they wrote me in the beginning didn't seem as relevant by the time I actually got around to doing the reading. And so they said, a lot has changed since I filled out the first intake form. I quit my job when they made it clear my well-being and contribution wasn't being valued. I'm starting a new job today that will be remote, but requires travel throughout the state 30% of the time. Okay. My career involves protecting surface water resources and restoring flows for hydrology and wildlife habitats. I feel good about this next move, but feel guilty about the pay I require because my last boss constantly told me that he didn't believe I was performing to the level of my position, title, and salary, even though the person who hired me was well aware of my background. Okay. What's your biggest question? How can I be recognized when I don't have energy to be excited about much anymore? And the systems I'm super adept at aren't being valued in my current environment. The thing that had kept me holding on despite this is that the observations I point out have the ability to improve a dysfunctional system that affects the greater good. Okay, what else are you curious about? Sometimes it seems when I stand up for myself, although it has alienated people, it's helped me improve my health. That was a really significant statement. We said already that they're a splenic projector, right? When I stand up for myself, although it has alienated people, it's also improved my health. Of course it has. Being splenic is like to be quite health focused anyway, but your what I call the authority channel, the channel that connects to the center that is your authority. You have the channel of surrender as the primary channel that's communicating with your authority center, your spleen. The spleen in general asks, is this healthy? Is this healthy? Really, it's asking, is this safe? But is this healthy is kind of the same question as, is this safe? Will it kill me or not is the ultimate question. Will it kill me or not? Will it kill me or not? When I stand up for myself, as in, when I hear that, I hear when I put boundaries in place, when I respect my own needs, when I advocate for myself, it alienates people, as in, yeah, it pushes the wrong people away from you. It alienates people. Some of the language you use is very interesting. When I stand up for myself, so you're talking about you, although it has alienated people, so I'm assuming you're talking about the other, you standing up for yourself alienates other people. I don't know. That feels like a distorted, like causation versus correlation. Just because you're standing up for yourself doesn't mean other people are being alienated. Are they expressing to you that they feel alienated because you're sticking up for yourself? Are people communicating to you that they feel alienated is an interesting word. Abandoned. Do they feel abandoned because you're sticking up? Alienated is alone. Abandoned is alone. Abandoned is something that people are afraid is going to happen to them by the people who have defined egos. Your defined ego. The people in your life are afraid that you're going to abandon them, so they accuse you of alienating them. The same people that do that are the ones that bring down your health. The people who are toxic for you either guilt you, reprimand you, punish you, discipline you for needing to be alone. Emotionally, I see an undefined, so I have an undefined solar plexus here with a lot of hanging gates. I feel like emotionally, this has been one of, like, obviously this has been one of the hardest things for you to work through. We only have 3 undefined centers, which is kind of rare for a projector, but we've got a triple split, so I got lots of different parts in you. So as a triple split, there's this, like, there's a little bit of a stronger feeling that you need other people. If there's this, like, I need other people, what are you behaving differently as, like, a people pleaser? You obviously were. You And we all do this in varying amounts, but you were obviously doing it more so beforehand because you were in a job that was not going well for you. And when you say that your previous boss informed you that they didn't believe you were performing to the level of your position, title, and salary, it made you feel guilty about the pay you required. When people are having challenging conversations with you, okay, so your boss is like, you're not doing well enough, and you're like, well, I have certain needs and I have to have my needs met, so I require this money. So when you're asking for this money and your boss is like, I'm not going to give you that, you're not performing well enough. Like, there's some interesting language being used here. It's kind of interesting because a lot of what I'm looking at in this chart, and, you know, personal view, can't do too much about it here. For me, I have personal view. I can't help but look at your design and contrast it against my own design. And also, projectors are here to learn about themselves through the other. In reading for your chart, I can see how we're similar and I can see how we're different, and I can learn more about myself in the process. As someone with a channel of surrender, I've definitely had people, like, accuse me of, like, not trying hard enough, not working hard enough, like, not, like, doing absolutely fucking everything to make something work. But it's like, work for who? Like, work for them or work for you? Because I didn't hear that much about, like, what was actually working for you. It feels a lot like people have expected to be able to use your ego. And when you're starting to become aware that your ego is yours and nobody has access to it unless they recognize and compensate you a certain way, you start to put boundaries around that. You stop letting people tap you, get access to that power. When you do that, they ultimately accuse you of leaving them hanging, holding the bag, abandoning them. Like, people seem, I get the strong impression, because it was interesting, you even used the word guilt. I was like, why is guilt coming into the conversation? Why is anybody making you feel guilty about something? I feel guilty about the pay. I feel good about this next move, but I feel guilty about the pay I required. Why do you feel guilty about the pay that you required? I know you say because my last boss constantly informed me that blah, blah, blah. That's not why you feel guilty. You don't feel guilty because your last boss told you you weren't worth the money. You're not, there's no fifth color, there's no fifth tone. Guilty. You feel bad. Guilty. I feel not enough. Guilty is like a lack of responsibility, didn't do enough when you could have. Didn't do enough. I feel guilty. I didn't do enough. But I don't know. I feel guilty about the pay I required. You feel guilty about the money. Why do you feel guilty about money? The only way to possibly feel guilty is if you think that you took advantage of somebody. But I don't hear that. I hear more so that you feel that you've been taken advantage of. I'm not hearing that, like, you think your last boss should feel guilty for not recognizing your value. That's a way more powerful thing to say. Egos require what egos require. It's a motor. Motors require. Like, if I want to start my car, I'm going to have to put fuel in it. And that fuel is going to cost me a level of money in order to get the right fuel, in order to power the vehicle. You're possibly putting a little bit too much mental stuff into something that is a matter of fact mathematical equation. You're taking like preferences and attaching them to needs when they don't belong there. You need to be compensated for your work. We all need to be compensated for our work in some way. As the projector, you absolutely must be compensated. You're not a regenerative sacral being. You don't have consistent access to energy. You don't get to just live off of your willpower all the time. When your willpower is going to need to rest, you're going to need access to funds. The ego is not the kind of thing where it works every day, paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, because it never can rest then. If it can never rest, you have huge immune problems, because the channel of the immune system is the channel of surrender, which makes it an ego-based channel. If you are taking advantage of your own health, if you're taking advantage of your own immune system, and when I say that, it's like if you were working for less than you require, you're taking advantage of yourself. You may word this like other people are taking advantage of me, but I'm like, you're letting them. So you are. Now I'm like, oh, I'm coming out a little hot right now, which is okay because you can handle it. You can handle it. But I know that this is not so much the current situation. This is more like what was, not so much what we're going into. Except the guilt is a current feeling because you haven't really actually fully let go of where you were before. That's a splenic lesson. Why haven't you fully let go? What does it mean for the spleen to fully let go? Again, there's a difference between like the energetic mental concept and the actual like physical biological thing. When the spleen needs to let go of what's not healthy, our minds will be like, oh, let go of that relationship. It was not serving me. And I'm like, yeah, but at a like physical level, what went with that relationship? You know, I ended a relationship. I was like, it's not healthy, you know? But when the relationship ended and I let go of the person and they left my space, what else did I let go of that wasn't healthy? I let go of the way they wanted the house to be, the way they wanted to grocery shop, the cleanliness preferences. Like there's a lot of detoxing, you know, furniture goes, garbage goes, like there's actual removals of things. What still needs to be like removed from you? Your original intake form talked a lot about health problems, but you associated the health problems with where you were previously working. Okay, so if you've changed the job, I don't think it's as quick as like, oh, I'm healthy now. You're getting healthier. But what were the bigger problems for you? I need to go over this. Sometimes it seems when I stand up for myself, as in become my own authority, advocate for myself, yes, it's improved my health. Of course it has. Your spleen is like, please enforce what is healthy. Please enforce what is healthy. And when you do that, you're like, go figure. I'm getting healthier. And I'm like, yes, thank you for validating some of this stuff. This is funny. Anything else you need me to know? My sense of smell is a strong guiding force. Yeah, definitely. My sense of smell. Let's also look at where your sense of smell lives. Gate 14.3.1.1, gate 8.3.1.1. Both of them are in individual circuitry, but if 14 was in a channel, we would have a generator. 8 is in a channel, though. It's a self-projected channel of inspiration. We're still in our projector family, which is why this one stayed a projector. We're unconscious because we're on the body side. But in particular, I'm looking at gate 1, my smell. An instinctual knowing. Like, the smell is the smell. It's first cognition. That is your jam. But where it actually comes from are these 2 specific gates. So I don't want to like limit your smell to like things in gate 8 and gate 14. It's not about limiting it to that. It's more like characterizing it, helping characterize it. 8. I can contribute. I can contribute. My knowing in the now. Part of this, I'm like, yeah, okay, I've got my gate 8 because that's where that's where the first tone is relevant that gives you the cognition. But if I also zoom out in terms of other places for scent to be living in the body graph, gate 44 still has a quality of this. Now, gate 44 is like fear that the past will repeat itself. But what in the past? It's technically the most primitive, primal, past instinctual fear that something bigger than you is gonna eat you. Something's gonna eat you. Something's gonna eat you. Something's gonna eat you. Now, what's fascinating is I said something bigger than you, but I love the duality and the binary and everything because the truth is something significantly smaller than you can eat you. Something absolutely microscopic can eat you. You could get like a flesh-eating disease, and that would be a bacteria that would eat you. That would be a problem for your immune system. Like, I could be eaten by a T-Rex, or I could be eaten by like mold. When you are alert to the smell, like, look at this body. Like, obviously we're already dealing with quad left, but first color, first tone in the environment, we're first color, second tone. This is very like, I want to call this a very basic person. Now, when I say basic, I don't mean simple. I mean foundational, like a deeply, deeply foundational person. They have the most primitive variable configuration. They have the original primitive environment. They have the original primitive diet type. I would love to see this person be very primal, very primal. Let's go back up to what they do for work. My career involves protecting surface water resources. Protecting surface water, protecting. Left angle cross of revolution, gate 49. I love cross of revolution because if I'm just going to be the most simplistic about what this cross is, it's if the needs aren't met, we'll start a war. If the needs aren't met, we'll start a war. That's really what a revolution is. It's a changing of ways. We'll start a revolution if the needs aren't met. And like, this is very, very tribal. This is like gate 49 is half the channel of synthesis. And this channel of synthesis gets a nickname of being the butcher. Gate 49 will break things and revolt in order to ultimately get its food. It can't go hungry. It will start the war to feed the children. Cross of revolution. Start the war to feed the children. What are the children for you? I don't think they're real children. I might venture to say that they're animals. I've got individual, collective, individual, tribal. You're a really nice mix of circuitry. But what are you actually protecting? Surface water resources. What are the resources? Restoring flows. Protecting and restoring. Yeah, tell me you're tell me you're across a revolution, right? Your job will be remote, requires you to travel throughout the state 30% of the time. If you're traveling throughout your state, I'm assuming that you're driving. And if you're driving, I think that that's probably amazing as a caves environment. And you're probably driving by yourself, which is even better as a caves environment. I bet you freaking love like the smell of. So this is interesting. I'm like, I gotta be not careful with my words. I don't want to be limiting with my words. When I was going to be like, I think you love the smell of a pond. I was like, oh God, don't be so literal, Sam, because this is someone who will love the smell of clean water, and they will also love the smell of disgusting water, if that makes sense. It's not that they like it. It's not like, this person's gonna go buy a candle that says like gross pond water. But it's that this person is extremely discerning through the splenic awareness, which is smell and taste as a binary. Smell people are like when you take in through the smell, you go through the nose really before you go through the mouth and down into the lungs. Whereas with taste, I'm going through the mouth and into the lungs. I'm kind of avoiding a little bit of the nasal stuff. You know, when you smell food, you can also taste it. Like, I'll be honest, if you're on a diet or you're restricting yourself on something and you can't actually taste something, you're not allowed to eat it. Sometimes smelling it is the best. Like, I totally go to my favorite coffee shop on donut day. I don't even want a donut, but I love the smell. I swear to God, the smell is like so wonderfully sickly sweet. It's sufficient. I can actually taste them all. I feel like eating them is almost kind of like a little bit unnecessary. I'm taste cognition, your smell cognition. But your cognition is about taking in information in the air. And I mean, I think I've said this in a couple of videos, but ultimately, take the information into your mouth, into your taste, into your lungs, into your bloodstream, and basically have your immune system start reacting to it and giving you information. You like being able to take air in and discern for yourself how healthy it is or not, how clean it is or not. Like, you have the ability to know when something is off. And it's not because it smells bad, it's because it smells off. Like, good and bad are kind of weird descriptive words for you. It's either like right or wrong, correct or incorrect, fine or not fine, okay or not okay, on or off, How can I be recognized when I don't even have energy to be excited about much anymore? If you don't have energy, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, you're a non-energy type, but so am I. We have the same motor. I fluctuate for sure in terms of like, am I energetic or not? Do I have power or not? Am I motorized or not? Do I have will right now or not? That's the kind of motor you have. You have a will motor. If your motor's not giving you any will energy, then you don't have the will to do things. If you don't have the will to do things, I bet you freaking anything it's financial. And you're like, I feel guilty about asking for money. I'm like, why? Don't you want your energy back? Of course you do. You don't even have the energy to be excited about much anymore. I'll be honest, as an ego being and as a projector, I'm not excited about much other than money. Now, that's interesting because you would think when I say that, like, I want to sit here and like, money, money, money. Like, I really don't. I really don't. I'm excited about money because it gets me out of here. Like, yes, I love my job. Yes, these readings are wonderful. I feel so fortunate. This is my life. This is my job. This isn't exactly, don't get me wrong, it could be hard for the wrong person. It's not hard for me because I'm good at it. I'm 5 years in and I like what I do. But I don't have any interest in sitting here all day, every day, reading human design charts. You should be able to tell by the way that I look. This is just a stop on my day. Like, I can't wait to get out of here and go for a walk or go shopping or go literally just go live my life. I love going and living my life, and in order to do that, I need access to resources and money. So I make sure that when my ego does this work for people, I'm compensated well enough, which is actually like a funny thing to say. I don't think I was well compensated for these readings, or at least I wouldn't be if I continued them. But trial and error. I didn't know. I had the will to do it for the original price that I offered these for. But after about 30 of them, I don't have the will to do it for the same price anymore. I'm on my last round of readings right now, and who knows if I'll do any more of them because I only do what I have the will for. And really, if I want more will, I need more money. I changed the price of the YouTube readings. They're double the price of what they were when I started, and I actually don't care if I do any more of them. I just know that my ego's like, I'm not turning on for that money anymore. Like, we'll go back to recording readings about the things that we want to talk about or whatever, but like, when I think, what do I have the energy for today? What do I have the will for today? It's really like living my experiment. It's living my life. And I will do what needs to be done in order to access that. It sounds like you will too, right? You quit a job. You're going to another job. You're making the changes. You're doing what needs to be done. The question is, when will you stop feeling bad about it? Guilty is not really like a part of your vocabulary. You could be angry. You could be bitter. You could be pissed. You could be sad. You could be a little melancholic. But guilt doesn't come from you. Guilt comes from something people are putting on you. And it doesn't need to be accepted. Last thing. Don't have the energy to be excited about much anymore. And the systems I am super adept at aren't being valued in my current environment. The systems you're good at are not holding value for where you are, is what you're telling me. So either you're in the wrong place, or you're working with the wrong system, or you just have the wrong perspective on it, which is likely what's actually happening. There's a good chance if you think that your system doesn't work that well for what's going on for you currently, you need to zoom out on what your system is. Like, for example, if you're like, I'm extremely well educated and my system is protecting water surface resources. It's not. That's not your thing. Zoom out. Like, if you even zoom out on your incarnation cross on top of what you think your system is, I would say that your system would have more to do with revolution. So if I were to attach revolution to protecting water surface water resources, how does that change your perspective on your system? There's your information, there's your system, and then there's how you interact with it. Whatever your system is, just know that when you use it, you will be empowering, you will share, and you will naturally support. But don't be supporting things unless it actually comes with the right amount of money. That's what support's about. Support is material. I'm not worried about you not performing to the highest level in a previous job. There are jobs that I've had where I'm amazing. And there are jobs that I've had where I can't believe they didn't fire me after the first day. I've definitely been fired a lot, especially as a younger person. I'd had like 30 jobs by the time I was 20. It's ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. You're a 6'3". I'm a 3'6". It's kind of ridiculous how many things we can burn through in the first 30 years of our life. Kind of funny sometimes. I just stop talking. I'm like, I think that's it. Especially if I got a smile on my face. I'm like, yeah, no, I think we're done. I think I said it all. Who knows? This actually feels like it's been pretty long. Hopefully they got something good out of it.